The Purdue Boilermakers are currently ranked number 2 in the country. They have a 25-3 overall record with a 14-3 conference record in the Big Ten. They have one of the most decorated players in the country, reigning National Player of the Year, Zach-Edey. To go along with Edey, they have two incredible guards in Fletcher Loyer and Braden Smith. Don't forget about the likes of Lance Jones and Mason Gillis as well. This Purdue team is deep and can score in bunches as they're ranked the top 10 in scoring, field goal percentage. They're also ranked top 10 in rebounding as well. But with all that being said, I'm J1 Knows Hoops with TWSN, and I'm here to break down why Purdue cannot be trusted come March Madness in my new episode of Court Vision. So now to open up our Court Vision episode, we're going to talk about the quick double team. And this has to do with Zach-Edey catching the ball in the post and getting double teamed. Now in their loss to Northwestern, Zach-Edey got double teamed a lot. As you can see, he's going to catch the ball in the high post when Kaufman ran. And you see immediately as we freeze it, he's going to get caught with this double team. Now he's got Fletcher Loyer not even looking at the ball, trying to go to the corner to free up space. But he tries to throw it immediately to Lance Jones, and that's the first pass that gets taken away. And this leads to a turnover for Northwestern and a bucket. Now we're going to get Braden Smith bringing the ball up here. And as you're going to see, Zach-Edey is going to set a down screen right now for Mason Gillis. Mason Gillis is going to pop up. Fletcher Loyer is going to come up high from that corner to the wing, throw it right to Zach-Edey. Now we're going to freeze again. Mason Gillis is making a hard down cut. This is going to get taken away by the guy in help right around the circle. But Zach-Edey can make that pass. Lance Jones is in the corner, but he's supposed to come to the wing. But Zach-Edey held on to it too long and didn't throw it right away. It's going to lead to another Northwestern steal. You're going to see Zach-Edey get doubled once again here in a loss against Nebraska. They're fighting hard. They're being physical with him. Purdue trying to swing around the quarter. They're just looking at him, trying to get it in. Braden Smith is going to finally throw it in from the wing. And look, there's going to be an immediate double. He's got a kick out to the top of the key. You see Braden Smith is kind of covered, but the man next to him is kind of open. Mason Gillis has a smaller guard on him, and he's kind of sealed off. And Zach-Edey can low-key dump it down. But Zach-Edey's going to try to kick it all the way across to the wing. He's going to make a bad pass because of how effective this double team is. And in March, that's going to be a steal going the other way, like the games in Northwestern. In this clip, I want to go back to their loss last year against FDU. You're going to see Mason Gillis throw a nice little lob pass into Zach-Edey. Now we're going to freeze it. Moore is going to come from the backside on FDU as soon as Zach-Edey puts his ball on the ground. Why? Because Zach-Edey's going all left shoulder. He's always using his right hand over that left shoulder. So when they push him out to that block, he puts it on the ground. He's able to get a nice little back tip and almost get a steal. Another problem I see, besides getting Zach-Edey the ball in the post, is them trying to force feed him too often and pass up shots. We're going to see a great example in this Northwestern game once again. You're going to see Braden Smith bring it up in a close game. We know this play is going to Zach-Edey as they're only down 2, trying to get a quick basket. He's going to hand it up to the top of that left wing to Fletcher Loyer. And Fletcher Loyer is already predetermined with his pass, trying to force it into Zach-Edey. He's going to make a bad pass because Zach-Edey is going to get overplayed on this. But Fletcher Loyer's got to understand that even though the play design is for Zach-Edey, you got to make sure he's completely open and sealed off his man. In March, if he makes that pass, it's just going to be so detrimental, especially in late game situations. Now we're going to get Fletcher Loyer again here against Nebraska. This time he's very indecisive as he's going to get a screen for the screener action to get him wide open to the top of the key as 2 follow Braden Smith off the screen, and he's going to be wide open at the top of the key. Fletcher Loyer is such a great shooter. He's got to shoot this. This is so much space, man. He's got to shoot this and knock this down. But instead, he's going to try to force feed Zach-Edey because that's the play design. Fletcher Loyer, he's such a great shooter, man. Please shoot this ball. This isn't really an entry pass, but I just want to show you the decision-making of Kaufman Wren. Like I said, they're so predicated on getting Zach-Edey the ball whenever they can, and I understand because he's averaging a double-double. But Kaufman Wren's going to get a pump fake, get 2 men in the air. Now he should stay solid on the ground and try to pivot and kick it out to Fletcher Loyer on this wing, who is wide open because he's a knockdown shooter. But instead, the 2 people are going to jump up, and he's going to try to force feed to Zach-Edey, but then the ball is going to get knocked away. And how Purdue can shoot the ball with Lance Jones, Braden Smith, and Fletcher Loyer, they should be looking for kickouts because that's going to kill teams come March Madness if they can just knock down threes consistently how they have been in Big Ten play. One detrimental aspect I want to point out about Zach-Edey's game is how he's all left shoulder. When he catches in the post, he's rarely going left to turn over his right shoulder. He's going over his left shoulder to score with his right hand about 95 to 98% of the time. Ohio State played this to a T, as they knew Zach-Edey was always going to go over his left shoulder. Zach-Edey sets a high ball screen for Braden Smith. Braden Smith throws it into him. As you can see, Zach-Edey caught it with his left, gathers it with two hands, and you can see he's using his left shoulder. He's not going to go over his right shoulder because he's going to use his left hand. Zach-Edey is going to swipe down because he knows he's going over his left shoulder to use that right hand, and that's just going to cause problems if Zach-Edey can't use both sides of the basket. Like I said, Ohio State knew this tell, and they were playing this to a T. They're going to do it once more here, and it's going to be Key again guarding Edey. Gillis is going to throw it right back inside to Edey after errant pass. And look, right in the middle of Key, he's going to try to turn over that left shoulder. Key swipes down, and it's going to lead to an Ohio State run out. Bringing Edey out onto the perimeter as a defender is also what's going to haunt Purdue if that happens in March Madness. It haunted them against FDU because they took Zach-Edey away from the basket, making him a non-threat in the paint to block shots. Right here against Nebraska, you're going to see Mass catch the ball up top. Zach-Edey trying to press up high. They're desperate as they're down 12 late game here, as they're going to lose this game. As soon as Zach-Edey trying to press up, you know he can't really move that fast laterally. Mass just straight up blows by him and scores. This is what can beat Purdue if you bring Zach-Edey out to the perimeter. Now we move on to one of their most recent losses, and that was to the Ohio State Buckeyes. Guard Bruce Thornton is going to get a screen, and he's going to try to snake it because Zach-Edey's leaving so much space for him to get in between the screener and the defender, which is Zach-Edey himself. Thornton's going to get in between, get to that mid-paint area, step back, and shoot a nice little midi. All guards in today's game can do this, and if Zach-Edey leaves this space, it's just going to be too detrimental for Purdue to make up ground because this is just such an open shot and a high percentage shot as well. As you see, Bruce Thornton for Ohio State's going to get the ball out top. They're going to set a high ball screen kind of on that wing area. And as you can see, Zach-Edey's playing so far in the gap, and it's going to leave Bruce Thornton with a lot of space right now. Zach-Edey does not want to come out to that perimeter because it takes away his shot blocking ability. Bruce Thornton's going to play that gap that Zach-Edey's giving him and just pull up for the jumper. Zach-Edey's going to have to close that gap, and if he doesn't, the guards now in today's game are going to just shoot that midi every time. Making Edey guard on the perimeter is how Purdue lost last year and got upset by FDU in the tournament. As you can see, Sean Moore was killing them all game. Zach-Edey's going to have to come out after this ball screen and guard Sean Moore. He's going to attack this bad closeout just because he's faster than Edey, and Edey can't really move laterally, which leads to a foul. This is going to happen if Edey even has to switch out or just play in the gap on smaller guards or forwards. For this last clip, I'm going to show you Zach-Edey having to guard a high ball screen late in the game in their upset loss against Fairleigh Dickinson. His man Sean Moore is going to set a high ball screen, which started kind of at that half-court logo line. And as you can see, so much space is left by Zach-Edey because he's trying to play the guard for going to the rim to get a block shot. And it leaves Sean Moore wide open for this dagger three that sends Purdue home. I really do love this Purdue team. I think they're a lot better than last year, just the way Fletcher Lawyer and Braden Smith have been playing. Also, Lance Jones has stepped it up, and Mason Gillis has been consistent. But I just think the way Zach-Edey plays on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball is just easy to exploit. Pulling him out to the perimeter makes it hard for him to guard and move laterally. He can't really pass out of double teams, and he always likes to go over his left shoulder to use his right hand and rarely uses the left side. So I just think Purdue could be upset in the first weekend again like they were last year, but they could make a run. I just don't see it happening. Thank you for watching. I'm J1 Knows Hoops with TWSN. Please check out our YouTube channel at TWSN and visit our website at twsn.net.